Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests in the room.
Good evening. Good evening.
Starting with our business session for today's meeting. So the first announcement that I have is for inviting nominations for the upcoming executive committee. That is for the term January to June 2025. So the nominations are now open. You can send in your nominations for 7 positions in the executive committee. That is President, VP Education, VP Membership, VP Public Relations, Secretary, Treasurer and Sergeant at Arms. So the last date to send in your nominations is the 15th of December 2025, and please ensure that you do not reply to the mail that Toastmaster Lalana Murthy has sent to your mail, but send her a direct mail at lalanamurthy@yahoo.com and not to the Mekong. So proven regular attendance to the club meetings and commitment to serve in the club, and already having served in the executive committee is also an added bonus for you to get the role in the upcoming executive committee. So with that, we move on to our next announcement. Over to our VP Education Toastmaster.
Very good evening everyone. Here is my VP update. For the next week, 16th December, 3 speech slots have been booked. One by Toastmaster Lata, one by Toastmaster Prashant and one by Toastmaster Sakshi. And table topic master role has been booked by Toastmaster Apoorva. All the other roles are open. I request the members to contact me for the same. That's all from my end. Back to the president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. With that, we can conclude the business session. Over to our.
So just have a point.
Yes.
Next week, will it be possible to announce what is the position of PDC, President Distinguished Club status for this term?
Yes.
So that people are aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's better to. It's time we did it because it's coming to the closure of the term. Just keep that in.
Sure. So we can conclude the business session. Over to our acting sergeant.
Throughout my 4th year of college, all I played was Pokemon. You might think it's a children's game for kids. This is something that you watch on TV. But it's actually a lot more than that. It's like the next level of chess. There are 1,000 different Pokemon out there, each with their own unique niche. About 300 of them are actually usable. But every Pokemon you might think is some cool animated character. But the truth is, it's actually just 6 numbers, 2 abilities, 1 item, and 4 move slots. That's it. Every Pokemon is just this. It's a bunch of numbers. And when we play against each other, we are actually number crunching. And it's a crazy mind game. Like, imagine there are 18 different types that are available in Pokemon, and we have to choose 6 different Pokemon from that select list of 1,000 odd that are there now. It makes for a very interesting game with very interesting dynamics. And right now, one of the most hotly contested competitions in the world is Pokemon VGC. Sometime I urge every one of you to go and actually look up this game. It's so much fun, and it will really twist your head in multiple dimensions, and will make you realize how amazing a game can actually be. With that, I would, unfortunately I can't give you a glimpse into the game itself because it involves a lot of 6 months of reading, 6 months of understanding, and maybe a lifetime of madness after that. But for now, let's give it up for the man who has taken charge for the past 6 months here. He's come here every meeting, he's given us his full prowess. He's the president of Mekong Communication Club. He's Toastmaster Shivaprasad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chetan, for that introduction. Once again, very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and guests in the room. So moving on with our first thing on the agenda today, and that is the guest introduction for today's meeting. I see only the one guest in our room today, so I request him to just stand up from wherever he is and tell us a little bit about himself and how he came to know about it.
So hi guys, I'm Dr. Karthik. I currently work in Apoorva hospitals in Jayanagar. So recently I had been to my school. I had studied in Achieve School of Education. So there I had been for, they had called me as a chief guest there for like, as an alumni, like achieved something. So I went there and there, like I felt like whatever I like, whatever I had planned to talk or whatever, I didn't do it well. Like I had to inspire a few kids, but I didn't do it. Then when I was talking to Balaji sir and Eddie sir, they were previously they had been here. They told I can work on it and make myself a better person. So then I spoke and I came.
Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Karthik, and I can assure you that you are at the right place. So with that, let us move on to have the minutes of the previous meeting read out by our Associate Secretary. We'll give him 2 minutes. Toastmaster Chetan.
The meeting last week was held 1294 on 2nd December 2024. The theme was Old Bengaluru. The word of the week was cachet. The business session started at 6:18 p.m. by Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma. The president opened the meeting with, on behalf of Toastmaster Pavni, our VPE, and spoke about the open roles. And more importantly, the Toastmaster Lalna Murthy spoke to us about the new executive committee that needs to be, and we need to send out our nominations by 15th of this month. The regular meeting started at 6:20 by Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Saketh. He spoke about the theme and handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma, who opened the meeting and then handed over the charge to Distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat, our Master of Ceremonies. DTM U Bhat introduced the role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, our counter Toastmaster Gajendra, Grammarian Toastmaster Lalna Murthy, and TP Evaluator Toastmaster Apoorva. The prepared speech section had the following speakers: Toastmaster Sachin, attempting his level 1 project 1, evaluated by Toastmaster Shreya Rao, and speaker 2 Toastmaster Lata Nahar, attempting project 5, level 5 project 2, evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Prashant and had 7 speakers. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Chetan. The winners of last week: Best Prepared Speaker, Toastmaster Sachin; Best Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara; Best Table Topic Speaker, Sai Snehal Reddy; Best Role Taker, TAPG, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa; and Best Role Taker MTG, Distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat. The President closed the meeting at 8:36, followed by the National Anthem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chetan. Are there any changes proposed to the minutes of the previous meeting? If not, I shall consider them as accepted and open meeting number 1295. Every battle is either won or lost, even before it is actually fought, said the Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu. It is one of my favorite quotes. Well, what was he trying to say here? Of course, you have many battles to fight in your life, real battles that you have to go out and deal with. But before that, there is one battle that you have to fight, that is an internal one. And that battle goes on in your mind. Or you could call it a mind game. And throughout our lives, we get played mind games by our own mind and by several minds that are there around us. And speaking of mind games, reminds me of one of my favorite mind games. I'm sure all of you, or brain games, all of you are aware of what this is. It's a Rubik's Cube, invented by Erno Rubik, an Hungarian professor to teach his students geometry. And he ended up creating one of the best mind games there is. Now this is a nice, beautiful cube that is already solved. It looks very nice at the moment. But the moment you take it and shuffle it up, it's not so nice anymore, right? Now, to somebody who's looking at this for the very first time, you're trying to solve the Rubik's Cube, you look at one piece, okay, this white corner is right here, why is it not moving here? And then you sit, you work hard for 1 hour, and you solve one side of the cube, and you're like, I've achieved something, and you're like, now there are 5 more sides. You say, time to go on to the second side, and by the time you solve the second side, the first side is already destroyed. And you're so frustrated. It's chaos, it's confusion. You don't know what to do. So you just sit there thinking that this little thing, this little toy that exists is playing a mind game on me. Now how do you deal with this mind game? Or how do you deal with the mind games that are there across the world that you have to face on a day-to-day basis? Well, it's very similar to solving a Rubik's Cube. Step number 1 of solving a Rubik's Cube is pattern recognition. You need to be able to see which piece is what. There is an edge, there's a corner with 3 sides, there's an edge with 2 sides, there are center pieces that are just one side. And when I move it this way, something goes wrong. When I move it the other way, it seems to sit right. So you spend time with it. You sit with your Rubik's Cube and you learn. Pattern recognition, essential to human survival. Since time immemorial. You were a hunter-gatherer. You recognizing patterns was necessary for the survival of your tribe. Hundreds of meters away, right there, is that a tiger or just a bunch of leaves moving around in a funny manner? And based on that, it will depend your survival, the survival of your tribe. So you had to be very good, not just back then, but even today. Let's say in 2024, you have to be able to recognize behavioral patterns of people playing mind games around you. Somebody is being extra sweet, somebody is complimenting you at every stage. It might just be a pattern. You might have to recognize it so that you can save yourself the time and don't have to fall into the mind games that are being played on you. Step number 2 to solving a Rubik's Cube, or another aspect that is required, is to know that you can't solve it all at once. Any Rubik's Cube tutorial that you'll see on the internet, or how most people learn to solve it, including me, you go layer by layer. You first do the lower and then the higher and then the final layer. That is how you manage to solve it. Whether it is somebody like me who can solve it in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, or somebody who holds the world record who can do it in 3 or 4 seconds, it's the same method that they use, which is going layer by layer, although you can't make out at that speed. And any problem that you face in life, or any mind game that is being played on you, you probably don't recognize that you have to go step by step, layer by layer to solve your problem. You can't stand in front of Mount Everest, look at that and say how far I have to climb, 8,488 meters. But it goes step by step. Or you have a massive subject to conquer in chartered accountancy, or you have to become a doctor. One by one, you have to do it slowly. And that is when you unravel that mind game, which seems like a huge challenge. The course of being a doctor or climbing Mount Everest, which seems huge, which might be playing a mind game on you. You unravel that and you make it easy for yourself. Fellow Toastmasters, not just that, when you come to Toastmasters, you look at brilliant speakers, you see people who are very, very good at their craft. Our guest just mentioned Balaji. You hear Balaji speaking and you're mesmerized, you're lost. He's such a brilliant speaker, he's talented. And you say to yourself that maybe I can never get to that stage. But what you don't realize is that there is a lot of patience, there's a lot of perseverance, a lot of hard work that went behind him becoming such a big speaker. And not just that, you have, or Balaji has succeeded in playing a mind game on you, into making you believe that he is somebody who is just naturally talented and can't be untouched. But what there is actually is there is a pattern in every speech. You have to have pattern recognition. You talk to DTM K Prabhakara, wake him up in the middle of the night, he'll tell you what that pattern is. Or you will have to be able to take it step by step, one speech at a time. And I improve slowly, one by one. And therefore, eventually you end up dealing with all these mind games that your own mind is playing with you, or that the world seems to be playing towards you, and you realize that any problem can be overcome in the end. And with that, I shall now hand over the charge to the person who shall take this meeting forward. She holds a BCom and Interior Design degree from SBM Jain College. She's passionate about sports like badminton, basketball and table tennis. She's a fitness enthusiast and she prioritizes workouts to complete her day. And I can swear by this, she doesn't even waste half an hour of time when her son has been dropped to some class. She will ensure that she ends up walking around the whole area, brisk walking, so that time is also spent being fit. She's also a true foodie at heart and enjoys balancing indulgence with mindful eating at the same time. And at Toastmasters, she is our Vice President Public Relations and has been very, very hard at work and very sincere with her posters and newsletters in the past 5.5 months. So with a huge round of applause, please give it up for our Master of Ceremonies for today, Toastmaster Apoorva.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Shiva. Diamonds are the most precious thing on earth, even more precious than gold. We have heard this multiple times. Today, I ask each and everyone in the room, why do you think diamonds are so expensive?
Yes.
It's scarce.
Market.
Huh?
Market.
Market is scarce. Okay, let's try. What if I tell you everything was a part of the mind game? What if I tell you diamonds aren't actually rare? There was a time when, hundreds of years ago, when diamonds were not that popular and there was no demand for it. There were very few diamond merchants dealing with them. At that time, around that time, somewhere in South Africa, the world found these huge diamond mines, which got all the diamond merchants worried. So what did they do? They came up with this brilliant mind game. They came together and started a company called De Beers, and this company started buying all the diamond mines across the world. There came a point of time where De Beers owned more than 80% of all the diamond mines across the globe, which eventually made them a monopoly. Once they were a monopoly, it was their mind game. They started controlling the supply and artificially inflated the prices. The next part of the mind game was to increase the demand. And how did they do it? They hired a marketing company. This marketing company was very powerful. This marketing company started hiring all the famous people, from movie stars to pop stars to kings, queens, giving them diamonds to wear, to promote them in their movies. This company, De Beers, started even funding these Hollywood movies. They were so successful in brainwashing the people that they convinced the world that no proposal or a wedding is complete without a diamond ring. The brainwashing was so successful and the mind game worked to an extent that the world now believes the man's love for his woman is directly proportional to the amount he spends on the diamond. Meaning, bigger the diamond, the more deeper his love for his woman. The result, the citizens of USA today spend the whole of their life savings on this little stone. The mind game of De Beers worked. Today, the world believes that diamonds are rare, diamonds are forever, and diamonds are a most valuable, precious asset. Not all mind games are commercial or money-minded or business-oriented. There are some mind games which are for the greater good. I know one such man who had noble intentions and started Toastmasters International in the year 1924 at Santa Ana, California, to create awareness on public speaking and leadership skills. And this is none other than C. Smedley. Today, Toastmasters International is a global network with over 270,000 plus members across 150 countries with over 14,000 member clubs. And Mekong Communication Club is one such prestigious club with a legacy of 25 years. For the benefit of the guest, a mind game for a successful Toastmaster meeting has 3 parts. Part 1 is the prepared speech session. Here, the speaker is prepared well in advance based on the project details and gives speeches for 5 to 7 minutes. Part 2 is the table topic session. Here, the speaker comes on the spot and is given topics on the spot to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Finally, part 3, which is the general evaluation session. Now, Let's meet the TAPG role takers, who play a key role helping me execute the mind game for a successful meeting for today. Successful mind game depends on time. So we have the timer, Toastmaster Prashant.
Time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to keep a track of it. For prepared speech session, it's going to be 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I would display green card. At 6 minutes, I would display yellow, and at 7 minutes, I will display red until the speech is completed. Today, we have one more prepared speech at which is level 4 elective, which is the time allocated is 15 to 20 minutes. At 15 minutes, I would display green. At 18 minutes, I would display yellow, and at 20 minutes, I would display red. So we also have table topic session wherein the time allocated is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute I would display green card, and at 1 minute 30 seconds I would display yellow card, and at 2 minutes I would display red until the speech completion. So speakers, please note there is a buffer of 30 seconds for each of these speeches. So anything crossing beyond 30 seconds will be disqualified. So I will report during the evaluation session. So over to you, MC.
A great mind game relies on communication. So we have the Grammarian for today, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As Grammarian of today, my role is to pay special attention to all the good usages as well as not so good usages in today's meeting. Also, I would like to introduce the word of today, obviate. That means remove, avoid or prevent. The usage of this word is arriving early to the meeting, he obviated last minute stress. Or I would say preparing for the session obviates last minute stress. So I would be noting all the Toastmasters or as well as guests, all the speakers who are using the word of the week, that is obviate. Thank you, and over to you.
The best mind game depends on obviating unnecessary and staying efficient. So we have the counter, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
Good evening to all of you. The person who speaks behind the lectern, you must speak in such a way so that the audience will be more attentive and delightful to hear them. How your speech will be more attractive, you should not use the words which will not be good in giving the lecture, such as and so etc. and pauses. This word should not come there. Then the speech will be a fantastic one, and it is a pleasure to hear such people. My job here is to note down all these things and give a report when called, so that they can correct themselves in the future speeches. Thank you very much. I will give my report when called on during general evaluation.
A dynamic mind game depends on order. So we have the PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator today, it is my role to ensure that we have decorum and a seamless session. So some ground rules. Keep your phones in silent or in airplane mode. Exit and enter the room only during applause. Please no crosstalks and no talks about sex, religion or politics. I'll give my report towards the end. Thank you.
Let's quickly get to the first part of the day of today's mind game, the prepared speech session. Before I call upon the individual speaker, I request the individual evaluator Toastmaster Jyothi to read out the project ideas.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. The purpose statement of this speech of this project is for the member to identify their primary leadership styles or style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of their primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Notes for the evaluator. During the completion of this project, the member responded to a questionnaire to help identify their primary leadership style. About this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech about some aspect of leadership styles. The member may choose to speak about their own leadership style or leadership styles in general and their impacts. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech should not be a report on the content of the Understanding Your Life Leadership Style project. Thank you and all the best to this.
The first speaker for the day is a BCom graduate from Transcend Group of Institutes. He is currently pursuing his CA. He recently got placed at a firm to do his articleship. Congratulations on that. He loves music, running and trekking. He's an enthusiastic learner who's always playing a mind game by grabbing every single opportunity thrown at him, be it taking roles at our club or other clubs, outside clubs, or be going as a test speaker in various clubs. With the speech title, We Have the Power to Make the Difference. We have the power to make the difference. Toastmaster Saketh.
Did you know Adolf Hitler and Steve Jobs were leaders? They were leaders in their respective fields and they had their own style of leadership. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Post World War I, Germany was in a pathetic situation. It had to accept the Treaty of Versailles. What the treaty stated was that Germany was responsible to cause World War I, due to which they had to give up a portion of their land, limit their army, and they were banned from using Air Force, Navy and tanks. And to top it off, they had to pay a hefty fine of $33 billion back then. Eventually, their economy collapsed and there was political instability. The Weimar Republic Party struggled to address this issue, leaving the German populace desperate and disillusioned for a strong leader. Behold, a young man rising in the ranks of his political party with his oratory skills. He used this environment to gain support and to promote the ideology of nationalism, anti-Semitism, and promised to restore Germany back to its former glory. In 1934, Adolf Hitler became the Führer of Germany. Basically, he's the leader. And he demanded loyalty. He ruled the country through the fear of people and he eliminated those who opposed him. Hitler did not micromanage, he had broad goals and he let his subordinates achieve them, leading to a chaotic and a competitive environment within the Nazi leadership. Now we all know what Hitler did when he was in power, so let's not trigger the PP. And eventually Hitler lost World War II. Because he was overconfident, he made strategic blunders and he had a rigid leadership. And he also interfered with the military decision and refused to adapt, which led to disastrous campaigns, overextensions, resource depletion, and mainly he underestimated the enemy's resilience, due to which Germany lost World War II despite having an early success. Now if you look at it, Hitler had an authoritarian, bureaucratic, and transactional style of leadership, which is one extreme. Now let's talk about another extreme. In 1983, John Scully was appointed as the CEO of Apple, who was the former president of PepsiCo. After which, Apple saw a decline in its market share, and there were internal conflicts, and it had a fragmented product line. The Macintosh struggled to gain mass adoption while competitors like IBM and Microsoft were growing. There were organizational tensions between Jobs and Scully, and in 1983, Steve Jobs was removed from Apple. During his absence, the company faced a decline in its market share. It had unstable leaders and it failed to innovate its products. Multiple CEOs struggled to provide a clear direction while outdated products and poor decision making led to Apple losing its market share. By 1997, Apple was on the verge of bankruptcy, struggling to compete against Microsoft and other PC makers. In 1997, Steve Jobs was appointed as the CEO of Apple, and he transformed the struggling company with a combination of visionary, charismatic, and transformational style of leadership. He first streamlined Apple's product line with innovation and user-friendly interface like the iMac, which revitalized the brand by the way. He focused on design, simplicity, and seamless integration, pushing his team to achieve extraordinary results. His transformational style of leadership inspired innovation, leading to revolutionary products like the iPod, iPad, and the iPhone. While Steve Jobs demanded perfection, his charismatic style of leadership also motivated employees and captured the customers. During his leadership, the company Apple became one of the most valuable companies in the world. To this day, when I watch the old videos of Steve Jobs unveiling the product, I get goosebumps. And somewhere between these two extreme kinds of leadership lies my style of leadership, which is affiliative and democratic style of leadership. I like to work in harmony with others, build a good relationship with them, and avoid conflicts. Before I make any decision, I consider the opinion of others in my team, and I don't mind letting others take the lead sometimes. And I motivate them by giving them the opportunity. My style of leadership works best when there's ample amount of time to plan and prepare. And it works best with a team of good knowledge of people to solve a complex problem or to find a direction. I never got the chance to be a leader, nor did I get an opportunity. Yet here I am as the Sergeant of Arms in our club. So whether you believe me or not, everyone has the potential to be a leader, and leadership isn't about ruling a country or transforming a struggling company to $1 trillion success. It's about how you transform yourself, grow through the struggles, and inspire others through your journey. So trust me, we have the power to make a difference, as John Adams said. With your actions, others get inspired by dreaming more, doing more, and learning more. And you are a leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saketh, for this wonderful speech. Before I call upon the second speaker, I would like to call upon the individual evaluator, TDM U Bhat, to read out the project guidelines.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. This is a level 4 elective project from presentation mastery path, and the purpose statement says the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. Notes for the evaluator: evaluate the member's speech and their facilitation of a question and answer session. Time allowed 15 to 20 minutes, as already informed. Back to you.
Thank you, TDM U Bhat. The second speaker for the day is a BCom graduate He has worked in various fields, be it financial services, electrical field, or automobile industry. He is presently working as a consultant in estate planning. His hobbies include meditation, listening to music, and reading books. He is a veteran whose game plan is to add value and make a difference every time behind the lectern. Every time he is behind the lectern. Please give it up to, with that speech title, Calculated Risk and Blind Risk, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Calculated Risk and Blind Risk.
Thank you, Apoorva, for your wonderful introduction. A person in Mumbai has a net worth of 7.5 crores, owns 2 BHK flat valued at 1.2 crores, owns 2 shops at Thane and gets a rent 30,000 per month. He paid more than 1 crore income tax. His name is Bharat Jain. He is world's richest beggar. Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. Mr. Bharat Jain could reach to a net worth of 7.5 crores. What is the secret behind that? He followed a calculated risk with reference to his saving and investments. This is the secret behind that. He has a financial advisor. He achieved that. What he learned in the process is, he understood the risks involved in saving and investments. We all invest in various instruments, whether knowing the risk or not knowing the risk. What is exactly risk in finance field is, there are 3 types. One is personal risk. My ability to take certain risk. That is known as risk appetite technically. What it really means is the ability to digest loss. To what extent? Each person's appetite is totally different. Second is instrument risk. We keep money in bank. There is a risk of rate, interest rate risk. Third one, we invest in shares, mutual funds, bonds, debentures, etc. There is also very high risk. So in totality, we need to know how to handle this risk. Personal risk, instrument risk, and market risks. All these things first we should understand. Next, keeping the money in bank or investing in various instruments. Mr. Bharat Jain could achieve that because, I will show you this. This is a triangle, right? Here it is protection, saving and investment. The 3 compartments. He understood the risks. He also kept some money in bank. He invested in various instruments. This is what he did. If you look at pyramids, pyramids stood for centuries. Why? Because the base is strong. Today the youngsters mainly, this is what they do. Then this is shaky, no? Point at which it is. We need to understand these things. So once you understand the risks involved, and take a decision accordingly. Sitting with a professional, because there is a combination of many risks here. 3 different risks are there. So it's always better to sit with a professional. Now I said about bank. How many of are comfortable in keeping money in banks? All of you. Why you keep money in bank?
Security. Security.
Security, fantastic. Any other answer from this side?
We trust RBI. We trust RBI.
Interest.
Trust.
Fantastic.
You're not allowed to keep cash at home.
You scared of
Many answers, fantastic. See, the purpose of keeping money in a bank deposit is mainly for the liquidity, not for the return. Because whatever interest rate that is going to be defined today, 3 months or 6 months down the line, it will not be there. Meaning thereby, understanding my expense pattern, food, clothing and shelter, 6 months or 1 year, depending on the type of the employment or the business a person is in, keep that money only. It's only purely for liquidity. Why? We all face inflation, right? Rise in price, meaning thereby our buying power comes down when the inflation is on the higher side. When inflation is on the higher side and your returns are less in a bank deposit, you are not beating the inflation. That's what interest rate risk is technically. So keep 6 months or 1 year money in bank, rest you shift it to the other instruments like mutual funds, shares, debentures, bonds, etc., where the potential to get more money is possible. Right? I'll give you an example here as far as the saving bank handling is concerned. All of us heard about SSV Jaiswal in cricket. You know the background of that gentleman? His father, M.K. Jaiswal, has a small shop, hardware shop. With the meager income that he got, he had a family, wife, 2 daughters, 2 sons. He himself was a fast bowler in his early days. He could not become a great player because of the money problem. But he identified Yashasvi Jaiswal's talent. And he also understood the potential that he had. And he paid 1,000 or 2,000 money to him, asked him to go to Mumbai. He went to Mumbai, stayed in a tent, sold pani puri in the evening. The struggle is a history now. The father could have kept that money in bank, saying that whatever guarantee my son may or may not become a cricket player. He did not do. He is a very intelligent person, I can say. He invested on Yashasvi. Look at the return over a period of 10 years. Right? We need to wake up, sir. Understand the nitty-gritties properly. Understand the risks involved. Because each instrument has got inherent risk. Undoubtedly. There is no risk-free world anywhere. This one thing, sir. Now, think of Jaiswal, where he is today. Had father denied, what would have happened to his life? This way, we all need to wake up. Sit with a professional, learn certain things. The day on which you are comfortable, you can handle by yourself, not an issue at all. This is the real life stories. Now, with this, I would like to open for questions.
You showed me on pyramid, protection, saving and investment. But I'm getting confused between saving and investment.
Okay. Saving is only for a liquidity purpose, not for earning money. Right? Investment is for a long-term horizon. You invest in, let us say, mutual funds. Okay? Mutual fund, there is a risk. Market risk is there. You cannot control that market risk. There is a fund manager who really handles that. Okay? You don't need to bother about the market risk is concerned. All you need to worry about your risk-taking ability. The reason behind that is, what is the risk in case market crashes, I can bear with. That's the only thing you need to look into. Because there is no interest as far as the mutual fund is concerned or the share market is concerned. So if you look at the difference between investment and saving is, there are three types of instruments in investments: long time horizon, medium term and short term. If your goal were to be short term, 1 to 3 years, let us say, mid term 3 to 7 years, long term 7 and above. In the long term, you can go for a high risk mutual funds. In the moderate, you can go for 3 to 7 years time frame. You have some goals to achieve. Things are different. In the short term, again things are different, because in mutual fund, there is a combination of equity and debt market, shares as well as the bond market. So combination of that, you sit with a professional, understand that, and then you channelize your money accordingly, then things will be different. Now I will come to one particular thing. People have a doubt, how much return I should have? Right? Some say 10%, some say 12%. There are two economic parameters we need to keep in mind. Number one, inflation. The purpose of investment is to beat the inflation. Second is, your money is channelized in the economy in various sectors. Maybe it is a share or a mutual fund. That is denoted by GDP, gross domestic product. Let us say inflation is 6%, right? And GDP is 7%. 6 and 7 put together 13%. Okay? Anywhere between 10 to 13% if you are earning, you are likely to achieve goal in the long term. That is the one thing that we need to understand. That's why every person's risk-taking ability is different. Accordingly, it has to be synchronized with the securities that are available. That's where the professionality is required.
How much liquidity one should have in the savings account?
Okay, 6 months to 1 year, depending on the type of the expenses. Let us say I have food, clothing and shelter, 10,000 rupees, let us say. Per month I am spending for my family. Example, 60,000 rupees I will keep in my savings bank account. Anything extra I will move it to different securities like investments, maybe mutual funds or shares, whatever it is. Some person, he may be requiring 1 year because he may be having an oscillating job as far as the income is concerned. 1 month he gets only 10,000 rupees, next month 0. Third month he may get 30,000 rupees, we don't know. Depending on the type of the expenses in the family, we need to construct portfolio according to the individual. So financial planning is always for individuals. That's where financial planner works.
Where do taxes feature in all this? Where do taxes feature in all this? Tax.
See, one thing, I also said why you should not keep in bank. Post-tax return definitely will not beat inflation.
Exactly.
That is the reason I asked you to shift to the investment part. In investment, what happens? Long-term capital gains are totally different, short-term capital gains are totally different. Sir, are you from Chartered Accountant?
No, sir.
But now even long-term capital gains are taxed with the new tax regime. Long terms and even if you trade in options and futures.
That is the reason, depending on the requirement, we sit with the individual, exactly assess what exactly he or she needs. The individual construction planning is more important. What applies to Apoorva will not apply to AKP sir. What applies to AKP sir will not apply to Shiva, like this it is. Agree. I am not denying long-term capitals at all. It is there. How to handle that? There is a method for it. Post-tax savings, it will not give you much returns. That's what. Have you got the answer, sir?
Yes. When I sell the stocks, it has gone up. The stock share cost prices have gone up. I want to sell it. The moment I sell, I have to pay tax. Tax at a bracket that I am in now. Okay. So sometimes if the investment is fine, it's going up, you feel right. But considering that the tax that you have to pay, you won't sell. Somebody else like children will benefit from it because in my time, if I sell, I am going to another bracket where it will be not even meet the overall gain itself. So where is the recommendation that you are telling that investment whole lot of things is a long term?
Yeah. See, anyhow, tax has to be paid. You cannot avoid tax at all in the first place. Factoring that in synchronization with the goal that you have. It is like this. We in financial planning segment, we calculate the corpus that is required in the long run for a particular goal. Let us say 5 years hence, you want to construct a house. Then the planning is totally different. As you said, tax you cannot avoid. You have to pay the tax. There is no direct or indirect method to avoid the taxes as such. Only thing is, if you are investing in your wife's name where she doesn't have much income, that's where when we do the planning, we ask both husband and wife to be present. We manage that differently, how to handle that, what happens in the long term, capital gains, shift this, that. Anyhow, it's a family idea. When it comes to question of retirement planning, we specifically ask both husband and wife together, we plan. Things are totally different. So individualistically, we will have to sit and talk about it, point number one. Point two, you cannot avoid, but there are methods to avoid that subject to discussion. That's all it is. Yes, ma'am.
Suppose, again, continuing with the sir's
Little
question.
louder.
Yeah. So, suppose, as sir said, suppose my salary is 7,50,000, which I am not being taxed right now.
Yeah.
Right. But because of investing, my salary goes, my income goes more than 7,50,000, for which I am being taxed at more than 10%. So, because of that 10%, I have to pay around 50,000 rupees tax. But the income, because of that investment, was even less than 50,000.
Okay,
so in that case, it's my loss, right? Because of the investment, I have to pay more tax.
See, there is no loss as such. You will have to make up by investing your money, channelizing that money, at least to get 10% or 12% in such a way that you channelize in a different instrument wherein over a period of time you are getting back the entire 10 or 12% whatever that you are paying, 20% whatever you are paying. In the long run, it is possible. It is possible. It may look weird now, it is possible. Now let us say, I assume that you are 20 or 25 in between, right? Today you start retirement planning, you need to show a very small amount. 10 or 15 years hence you start retirement planning, then things are totally different. With a small nominal amount of 2,000 per month, you can create a corpus for your retirement, and that corpus will be very huge.
When you say corpus, you mean
Corpus will be very huge. With that you can easily live for another 20-30 years without work, after retirement. There are methods. Because of time constraints, I will not go into the nitty-gritties, details or no. That's a different thing altogether. Sir, you wanted to ask?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Upendra. Think big and grow big. Think big and grow big.
Correct.
Is the one we have to adopt in our
Correct.
life. When the question of savings comes, if it meets all your needs, then the question of savings comes. You may save some small money, 5,000 or 10,000 per month. Why don't you think investing on land? Say 5,000-10,000
Very good
rupees.
question.
Sir, 1 minute, allow me to
Very
complete.
good question.
Allow me to complete. In my company, they kept 4 crores in AFD. I said, why are you keeping 4 crores? Invest on a land which will double or something happens.
Last question. Okay.
I invested 1 crore 30 lakhs on land about 5 years back. Today they are asking for 3 crores. So land is the one which makes you to grow enormously. My dear friends, please think over that. I know it is difficult to mobilize that amount. If you take a little risk in the beginning, you can make lot of money. I will complete. One of my friend, when he came to Bangalore, he was selling idlis.
Sir, is it your question or is it?
No, I will tell you, sir. Please allow me to.
You can stand there, sir. Giving
No, time is there.
No, speech, I will come.
I'll answer. I understood your question. I'll answer that.
Allow it in the land. Why I am telling you the land is the one which gives you more money. Please, take, of course, some problems are there initially. You overcome those problems and take my advice, you will make
Sir,
mountains.
for this, I'll answer.
Yeah,
We have a
given
system
a
known as.
question and answer also.
1 minute.
You can try.
1 minute. Just 30 seconds, sir. I'll answer you. We have a system known as asset allocation. In that, land building is one of the channels to invest. But every land investment or a building invest will not be profitable. So, depending on the type of the person taking the risk, ability of the risk taking, and so many other factors. Just like that, 2 plus 2, 4 cannot be possible in land. So that way, the answer is asset allocation. That's what it is. Thank you.
Mr. Upendra, I totally disagree with you. Totally disagree with you. I know how to make money. One of my friend who came to Bangalore penniless, he started buying sites and other things. And recently his medical bill came 1 crore 10 lakhs due to some this thing. How he was able to mobilize? He sold all the sites. Today he has another in his control, another 12 sites. My dear friends, don't be afraid. Don't be in a ice box. If you walk on the road, there is a risk. Tell me where there are no risks.
I am not denying him. I told asset allocation. Probably he would have understood. That's what I think. Thank you very much for your time. Back to you.
I am not challenging him. My experience I put forward.
Sir, this is how it has to be. So no problem with that. Let's give a round of applause. It need not have to be very sedate. You brought some masala to the whole process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, for this enlightening speech, and thank you, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, for that enlightening masala.
So impact is there.
Yeah, impact is there. Impact with the speech. Now
That's
let's.
good for all of us to hear.
Yeah.
It was good to all of us to hear like one different thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let's quickly get into the second part of today's mind game, the table topic session. The table topic master for today is a BBA graduate from PS University. He loves playing badminton. He's a passionate writer and a passionate bathroom singer. He is someone from the club who has a great sense of humor and this incredible mind game to put anybody on the spot anywhere at any point of time. I feel these are the qualities for a perfect stand-up comedian. You must give it a try. Please give it up to Toastmaster Gajendra.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest present here. Usually, our table topic session happens in the following way. I say one topic, one of the Toastmasters comes, speaks for 2 minutes, and then they go. And then the members decide on a vote whoever ends. So because of time restriction, I'm going to just start with the first topic. Methods. Okay, because it's a mind game theme, so it's going to be based on the mind game. Methods to stay calm. Methods to stay calm. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Methods to stay calm. I think I've already said twice or thrice here that for me staying calm is about understanding what I'm going through, understanding my emotions and processing whatever I'm going through. So my method to stay calm is to take a walk. No matter how far it is, like I just put on my earphones, play some nice old Rajkumar songs and go on a walk probably towards DVG Road or go towards Sangam Circle amongst all the trees. So that is one of my methods to stay calm. The other one was running, but not so much right now. But I've also started listening to songs because I finally got a Spotify premium account. So yeah, I listen to a lot of songs these days, especially from the 1970s and 80s. I started developing an interest in the likes of ABBA and Michael Jackson, and my favorite song right now is Hotel California. Speaking of Hotel California, I was actually at a company party last week, and while there was a karaoke event, I started singing that. So that was also a method to find some peace and calm there. So I would say right now for me it's all about walking, music, and taking everything all in, and that's about it. Thank you.
My next topic. A time when he got tricked or scammed. A time when he got tricked or scammed, and this goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. A time when he got tricked or scammed. Scam means someone hooked you. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ.
Time is a wonderful thing, which I already said it has so many characters and other things. It is common to all. Time is a common to all. It will not change depending upon the personality or any person. Vidwan was there. Lakshmi wanted to enter the Vidwan's house. He said, no, I will not allow you because you are a differentiator. Because once you give money, other man will not give the money. I will not allow you inside. Then Saraswati came, who is the source of knowledge. I will not allow you. Because for one person he gives the knowledge, the other person he don't give the knowledge. Whereas when the time went, it allowed because time is common to all. My friend is asking somebody who goofed up you. Yeah, recently one friend was there, was talking very nicely. Very nicely and other things. He helped me a lot in many things. One day he gave a ring, sir, I wanted to pay the fees of my son who is studying in engineering. Can you give me 5 lakhs? I thought, why to invest 5 lakhs and let us give 1 lakh, even if it goes by fate like that. And he issued a check immediately. We payable in 6 months if you want to take any interest. No sir, I don't give money for any interest. Like that I said. At 6 months he kept on charging. Even now he is dodging. Like that he has fooled me. And as a result of that, I learnt a big lesson. If anybody comes to my room and asks money, I have kept one certain limit. If that limit causes, within that limit, if it doesn't pay, it's all right. I have kept some limit. For example, we are on bus. He has so many buses. If one bus goes, he is not bothered. Because he has so many buses. So like that, one of my friend, I asked him, he is a financer. I asked him, sir, is there anybody goofed up you? One fellow goofed up you 1 crore, yeah. Sir, how do you feel? What is there 1 crore? Because I earned money there. So because So it all depends upon a person's ability and other things, how he can cope up. So let us, when he is not giving, there is no fun in scratching my head, going to, sitting there, going to the police station, going to his house, what is there? Instead of that, you think in a different way and make use of your time to earn more money. So what has happened has happened. You can't change what has happened. Can you change it? What has happened? I have given the money. If it doesn't give, what shall I do? Okay. So you may say you are capable of standing there, that's why you are doing that. But you can't do. Rather than that, what best you can do? If I am failed in the exam, what you have to do rather than worrying, just in the next exam how I can do it. So these are all the things I would like to advise you. Time is a beautiful thing. Stay fit, make use of the time 100% and make more money. And if somebody cheats you, forget it and move forward. Thank you very much.
My next topic, the secret to winning at life. The secret to winning at life. And this topic goes to AKP, DTM AK Prabhakara.
Secret of winning in life. It's a table topic, masters, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome. Secret of winning. Question is winning where? Money making? Or following your passion and making the impact? Doing something at a micro level that will have impact at macro level. These are all broad headings I have given. When I say following your passion, is that some people say, for example, mathematics they are good. They do it faster than others, they give the answers quickly in the class. But everybody given time, they also arrive at the same answer, given that time. You watch, this is true of all subjects generally. So wherever you are good at and do things faster, maybe carpentry also, maybe some kind of painting also, you are good at, can you be little more creative in that space? So that you are head above the shoulder. Are you that kind of a talent, in that passion, what you do naturally? These are the things that you have to identify. One example that I can give is Tendulkar.
My next topic, when your brain played tricks on you. When your brain played tricks on you, and this goes to Toastmaster Prashant.
So, when there was time where, the earlier speeches, it was told, you need to kind of face the inner battle, right? From our presidential speech. So, similarly, there are times where without lack of empowerment or so, a lot of time was happening in kind of battling with some of the thoughts actually. So over time, I would say, it could be in terms of exposure or attending landmark forums, and with good friends, and of course experience as well as a what. So I started kind of realizing what to kind of take it, what to ignore. So I'm kind of more, not too heavy on myself, and just be choosing what to take and work on it, and ignore at times that is not productive. Yeah, this is my take. Over to you.
My next topic, solving puzzles make you smarter. Solving puzzles make you smarter, and this goes to Toastmaster Sakshi.
how many of you like solving puzzles? Okay. How many of you like playing games? And how about mind games? Well, either it is puzzles, games, or mind games, everything is important. Puzzles. One topic was how to make you calm. One such topic was. So, for me, the answer is puzzles. How many of you are married? You might be overcoming the calmness. You might be finding new solutions every day. How to keep your mind calm when you want to fight and kick that person. So for me, I have one device of Sudoku. So I play Sudoku very often, and this is how I make my mind calmer, as well as the puzzles which make me calmer every day. Thank you.
The last topic. How to play mind games on other people. I repeat, how to play mind games on other people, and I call Toastmaster Chetan.
My wife has spent a lot of time in Bharatanatyam class, where mind games are at the heart of everything these girls pull at each other. These girls want center stage, and they will do anything to get it. Like I'm talking about 8-year-old kids all the way to 25-year-old young adults, or maybe even 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. They will do anything. They will do the nastiest of tricks to make you feel obligated to the other person to give the stage to you. For example, there was this one girl who was, the two of them have to give a performance, it's a duet, but on the day of the performance, they prepared together for 6 months, she stamps the other girl's foot just before the performance. She can't be there, the stage is all hers. These are the kinds of games these girls are capable of. Imagine, right from the age of 8, they are trained. So, if you truly want to get into the minds of others, I think you should probably go to a dance class, which is something I understood after marriage. That there's a whole other universe out there where girls pull each other's hair metaphorically to get ahead of each other. They are able to really get into your minds, pull the strands, and make you feel like you don't deserve it. They are amazing. So yeah, how to get into the minds of others? Ask those little girls. They'll tell you.
And last topic, your inspiration, and this goes to our guest, Dr. Karthik.
So, to me, my inspiration was one of my tuition teachers. It was around 8th grade. Until then, I was a very less than average student. After that, there was this tuition I joined, and there they used to play same mind games only. They used to build competition in between the students, like but it was a healthy competition. They used to make a group of like 5 people. We were around 30 people, so around 5 people, like 6 groups, and they used to conduct these quizzes and other things where like they make like instead of directly telling us to study, they like show something as in like the teams will get points. Like each week we'll have different competitions. It might be quiz or anything else, and whichever team wins, that team like the end of the month they'll take us out. So we want to obviously be there. So we try to study and do that. So this person, he's the one who changed my entire life. His name is Pawan. So yeah, haven't had the time to like talk about him or tell about him anywhere. Like I'm preparing a bigger stage for it. Someday I'll do it. Thank you.
That's it. We are done with the topic session and back.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gajendra, for this interesting topics and a fun level topics. Every successful mind game deserves a break. So let's refuel and take a 10 minutes break so that we come back stronger. See you soon. Welcome back, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. A refreshed mind plays a key role to a winning mind game. Now that we are recharged, let's get to the third and the final part of the session, of today's session, the general evaluation session. The general evaluator of today is a construction technologist working at Autodesk. He likes working out at the gym and CrossFit. He enjoys reading books. He is a passionate storyteller and a screenplay writer. He is the only person in this club who is not camera shy and easygoing. I tell this reason. The reason I tell this is because from the day I took up charge as the BPPR, I've been constantly behind everybody to take part in the Instagram reels for the Mecon Communication Club. But no, everybody is always giving excuses, not willing to take part in any of it. But it was only Toastmaster, the general evaluator, Toastmaster Raja, who came forward and actively took part in one of the Instagram reels, which is the only Instagram reel, I think. Then we give it up to the general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Raja.
See, that's probably because I'm the only person who's okay looking like an idiot behind the camera, I think. Okay, good evening fellow Toastmasters and guests. We started the meeting at 6:25 p.m. and we started the business session, and our president mentioned that nominations are open, and please give your nomination in whichever role you are interested in. And then our acting essay talked about the theme with Pokemon. I never understood that game Pokemon. I don't know whether it's a game or you get something with that. He said we need to study for 6 days or something like that.
6 months.
6 months. But yeah, good connection with mind games on that. So that was a good brief introduction about the theme. Then next, our president's address. Our president's address has been improving week by week. First time when he gave the first speech as a president, when we had the ceremony, I was really like, okay, this guy has taken it to the next level in president's speech, which I really enjoyed. And every week he's giving the speeches, and I'm learning something new from his speech. Last time he talked about watches and how there's mechanical watches, then there is automatic watches. So I learned something new there. And today he used a prop. Probably this is the first president who used a prop in the president's speech. So he used a prop, Rubik's Cube, and he talked about it. And I never played Rubik's Cube. I usually just spin it for a couple of times, and I see, this game is useless. I just throw it. But he talked about it, and he talked about a very specific thing on pattern recognition, which I really liked, how he connected the Rubik's Cube and how you need to identify the pattern to solve it and not solve in a single side. So that was, I really liked that, the particular analogy that he gave. And so he also talked about unraveling the problem piece by piece instead of looking at the problem as a whole. And he also talked about the mind games the world is playing. Even when from the day we are born, till now everywhere in marketing is like manipulating our mind, saying apple a day keeps the doctor away. Starts with that. There are many nutritious fruits, but we think apple is great, right? So I thought of obviating. Grammarian is there. Obviating the president's speech, but since his speech was very insightful, I really liked it. With that, before I get into evaluating others, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Jyothi to give her evaluation report.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and a special good evening to Toastmaster Saketh, speaker of today, one of the speakers. The title spoke a lot even before the content was delivered by the speaker. We have the power to make a difference, and my mind started thinking, what difference do I have the power to make? Saketh, your content was remarkable, very detailed information, and your vocabulary like depletion, resilience, enriched the listeners. Your clarity, volume, and pace of the speech that you delivered was excellent. The content had the history and it took back to quite some movies that we have watched, what we read in the magazines about Apple, Job Stevens, and all those things was very live and very well done. What you may work on is, I found the content, though it was detailed, it was like detailed to the extent of the year that Job Stevenson did something, Hitler did something. I was like, why do we need which year, what they did? Come to the point, what they did, what do you want to say? So I think that you can work about, not going to so much in detail, because as an audience, at one point of time, I lost interest listening to those details. And what made an impact about the history that you spoke about Hitler or the Apple company? I was like, okay, they have the quality of leadership of an authoritative leader, or the other Job Stevenson had. So what impact did it make? Why did you give this? There are so many stories, so why did this make an impact? I was like curious to know about it. And then you came all of a sudden that you have a style of, a particular style of leadership. I'm sorry, I'm not getting the name. Affiliated. So where did you arrive that from? What made you? These stories, how did they impact you to understand your style of leadership was lost, to challenge yourself, because you have the potential of such vocabulary and confidence. Maybe the opening, because you're talking about leadership, the opening could have been more energetic, and the ending where you said, which was very impactful, you stated leadership is not about ruling a country, but the ability to work hard and motivate people. And you came up with another sentence. So the sentence of leadership is not ruling a country, but what it is, that one line if you had mentioned, stated and left it, it would have really been a punchline and an impact to the audience. But overall, you excel in the content, which I must tell, and your voice modulation, if you had moved a bit around and maybe opened your arms and few words at a punchline where you could raise your energy and pause for a bit longer time, the leadership quality in you by default would arrive. But yet, with your energy and words, it was a real impactful speech, and thank you, and that will be
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi, for the detailed evaluation. You talked about the areas he did well and the areas he can improve upon. One thing on the evaluation is that probably you can bring a little bit more structure to the evaluation. Talk about what are the 3 points, like what he did well, what are the 3 points he need to improve. Just a little bit more clarity on that. That would be great. And in terms of Saketh's speech, I'm seeing Saketh growing as a speaker every week, and today's speech was fantastic. And it is usually a boring subject, which they talk about: visionary, transformative, charismatic, affiliate. What is all this, right? So you handled it very well by bringing it to styles, right? You talked about Hitler and you talked about Steve Jobs, and you were very fluent as well behind the lectern. And I feel that you have grown as a speaker, and I'm looking forward to seeing much more nice speeches from your end. So a round of applause to Saketh and Toastmasters. So now I would like to call upon DTM U Bhat to give the report for Toastmaster Vijay.
General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and Toastmaster Vijay Upendra in particular. The purpose of this project is for the person to learn the skills in facilitating a meeting, a question and answer, based on his own speech, on an informative speech. Now let me evaluate Toastmaster Vijay Upendra's speech and the 2 heads, where really excelled and where he could have done differently. The first is very excellent. The first thing is about the topic itself, is about financial planning. You give it a fancy name of calculated risk and blind risk. First is financial planning is something which is dear to us. Everybody is concerned about it. So it definitely elicits more response for the question and answer session, and that's what ultimately happened. Great work done. The title, the selection was simply amazing because that aroused curiosity and brought attention. And you did a speech which, because your forte is speech making, you have got that all the characteristics of a great speaker. Your power, your energy, your vocal variety. You excelled in all the ways. This clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, audience awareness, comfort level, interest in audience. Everywhere you excelled and given exemplary. This is your strength, please build on that. Having said that, then this is the first part of it, is the speech. Now let's come to the question and answer section, which is the heart of the thing. Where the very proof of pudding is in the eating. The amount of responses got, about 7 or 8, that it just showed that the subject was very interesting and you delivered nicely, and there were genuine doubts on that. So, and you answered, I feel you have successfully answered all the questions to the best of your knowledge and whatever you knew it. But now let me come to where you could have done differently. Your project, I don't have any specific suggestion other than that putting a conclusion would have been a bit more powerful. Telling that ultimately the bottom line is, this is too complex a thing, financial planning. Please go to a professional. That would have been the concluding, so that would have led the question and answer in that direction, instead of some assorted questions on various kinds of investments and risks and all that, which you went on answering one by one. You are knowledgeable, you are confident, you are expert. One thing is, when you have got a time constraint, the bottom line here is the time management. You are intelligently given that 5 to used about less than 7 minutes, I think, your speech, and given more time for the discussion, which was really good. One thing you do, but what I appreciated is, in the upfront, before starting, you are told, please write your questions precisely and ask in one sentence. That would have saved time instead of people sharing their gyan to you. So that will create distractions. That is one thing, suggestion I got. And even that another skill which probably you have to still upgrade, in my opinion, is the control of the difficult audience. Because we had persons who are not only talkers, arguers and chatterers amongst us, who try to give their own gyan or whatever. So you could have intelligently or diplomatically handled it by telling, I understand out there is a lot of input from you, which I will definitely use in my future speeches, but For discussing more about this, let us discuss during the break. I will give my details. Let's have a detailed talk, which will be helpful to me. And I learned a lot of things from all of you. Probably that diplomatics would have been a really good thing. There is one thing you have to practice still more. As far as challenging yourself is concerned, I feel that you can definitely avoid this lecture in your future whenever possible, and use the stage very effectively, and use all your energy and your, that what you call is the panache in the delivery style. Your voice, everything is fine, but the style still you can develop a bit more. There's one thing I've seen with you because you're a professional speaker, so it will definitely help you. But overall, I really thoroughly enjoyed your speech, and it was a mind-boggling. It's a very, very big topic. To cover it in 15-20 minutes is a real challenge. So here the technique here is not about sharing your knowledge, but completing the project and doing the time management, putting the persons in the right place. That is more important here than sharing your jam, because it's very difficult to give such an important task in 10-15 minutes. That's the only thing here. But I thoroughly enjoyed your speech. Congratulations, and take up your next project as well.
Thank you, DTM member, for such a detailed evaluation, and he told about the areas that where he did well and the areas that he can improve upon. And huge thanks to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra on such a detailed and a complex topic. And I agree with the evaluator. It's such a complex topic to press within like 15 to 20 minutes, right? It is so complex. If there is one thing that I would ask from you is this: you have like a wealth of information, right? Whenever you come behind the lectern, there is a wealth of information. But what I would like to see is more of a Toastmaster style, right? What do I mean by Toastmaster style, right? When I go and look for the finance and things like that online, there's so much of information after information after information. YouTube, you just type, right? And the irony is, like, more I learn, the more confused I get. And that is how the complex finance is. Then I read a book, right? The book name is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay? And he gave a phrase. Yeah? In that phrase he said, assets is something that will put money in your pocket. Liabilities that something will take from your pocket. It's a simple thing, right? Or maybe then there was in psychology of money, like spend within your limit, right? Or 1 rupee saved is 1 rupee earned. So something, if you keep it for the audience as a takeaway from the message, right? So that is like an actionable message. If somebody says 1 rupee saved is 1 rupee earned, so that is like something, So probably next time you can think about, like, you can do it in a Toastmaster style, right? And then there is a clear takeaway for the audience. So that is something that I would recommend. But other than that, thank you for sharing your wealth of information and the knowledge. And a huge round of applause to TTM member and Toastmaster Jyothi. Now I would like to evaluate our table topics master. So table topics master, you selected the topics that went with the theme mind game. Probably you did that half an hour before the session. You said, okay, mind game, let's do it. But yeah, I enjoyed like the different topics you gave to different people on methods to stay calm, time you got tricked, winning at life, and all the different topics. A couple of areas that you can improve upon is, I would say, is like when you come behind the lectern, you can show even more energy or excitement than you had today. I know like you had a lot of excitement when we give you table topics, but when you are the table topic master, maybe a little bit more excitement, and also you can talk about like what is a table topic, maybe a little bit short story, not just topics and then you kind of went back to your seat, right? And somebody gave a response, you can talk about that response as well as like a transition. You go from one topic to another. The methods to stay calm. What are the methods you do to stay calm? Maybe you can talk about that. You can tell them, I do a smoke. No, just kidding. So, you're a non-smoker, same like me. But I'm saying, say like some kind of a transition. If you do, like, there's audience engagement, right? So that you can do. A round of applause to our table topic master. Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Prashant, who has taken the role of time.
The meeting commenced at 6:25 today. Business session took about 2 minutes. Sergeant at Arms has taken about 2 minutes exactly, prescribed time. Presidential address has taken 8 minutes 33 seconds. Secretarial report was it has taken about 2 minutes 8 seconds. The first speaker, Toastmaster Saketh, has taken 6 minutes 33 seconds. And second speaker, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, has taken 21 minutes 52 seconds. Master of Ceremonies so far has taken about 15 minutes. Table topic session was overall about 18 minutes, where most of the speakers spoke for more than a minute. So total there were about 7 speakers and 7 topics. And general evaluator so far has taken about 90 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prashant, for giving a detailed report on the time taken by different speakers. Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sakshi, who has taken the role of Grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. Good evening again, one and all. Today we heard many effective and well-chosen words that truly uplifted to my ears. In many instances, their presence seemed to obviate the need of further explanation, making the points more powerful and memorable. To start with the first phrase which was used by Toastmaster Shiva, every battle is even won or lost. The theme of the day, that is the mind game, is itself a good phrase. Aerobic cube, hunter-gatherers, massive, unravel, which means undo, perseverance, intelligence with mindful eating, monopoly, greater good. A dynamic mind game depends on order. We have the power to make the difference. Hefty, collapse, trigger, few different words which was uncommon for me. The leadership styles which was used by our speaker: autocratic, bureaucratic, visionary, transformational style, charismatic, affiliatic and democratic leadership styles. World's richest beggar, inflation, which means increase in price, think big and grow big, a time when you get trick or spam. The table topics were itself a new phrases. Head above the shoulder, way with the ball, your brain plays trick on you, nastier, 1 rupee saved is 1 rupees earned. These were the few phrases which I noticed. Thank you and over to you.
My mentee did a fantastic job. So what I liked about it is, like, you brought in the energy, and then you told like what are the phrases they did well. Did you tell who all used the word opiate?
Sorry, I forgot. The word of the day, shall I say?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I know Toastmaster Raja has used the word of the day, that's why he's pointed me. So the word of the day was used by, I think I forgot the diary there. Just okay. The word of the day was used by Toastmaster Toastmaster Apoorva, Toastmaster Raja. As per my report, this is it. If I have missed anyone, please. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, only two studious people have used the word. Alright, now let me call upon Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa to provide the report on our counter.
Report on and so on that speakers who use this thing. Chetan, flawless. Shivaprasad, flawless. Apoorva, one repeat word that is across, 3 pauses. Prashant, 3 R's. That's all. Veerabhadrappa, I have not noted. Grammarian, Sakshi. Sakshi. 2 pauses. Next one is speaker 1, Saketh. Pause 1. Evaluator, Jyothi, R1. Pause 3. Speaker 2, Vijay Upendra, flawless. Evaluator, U Bhat, 1 pause. Next, table topic speaker, Gajendra, flawless. Speaker Prashant, R1. GSV I have not noted. K Prabhakara, flawless. Prashant, R1, 2 pauses. Sakshi, repeat word 1. Chetan, flawless. Dr. Karthik, 6 R's. Raja, so far 2 R's and 1 pause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. When I started Toastmasters, right, then there was a person, I think it was Toastmaster Shreya, and she said, Toastmaster Raja, 25 hours. I was like, wow. So from 25 today, 2. I've improved a lot. Alright, now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Madhu.
So here's my PP's report. Happy to say there were no phones which rang. Everyone exited and entered the doors during the applause. There were no crosstalks and there were no talks about sex, politics or religion. Although our Toastmaster Saketh was spreading a very funny line like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhusudan. Alright, now I need to evaluate only one person today who brought the mind game today. Toastmaster Apoorva. A nice topic, and you talked about why diamonds are expensive. You started with the question and you told a story. I really liked that part, like how you connected, like how they made it as a marketing, and through that they were able to sell the diamonds more at a higher price. So I felt that was very good, your theme was good, and throughout the meeting you gave good introductions, called people, here all of that was fine. There is one area that I want you to improve upon, is when even before Toastmasters, like probably like 3 years before, I used to do this. What I used to do was, I used to look at all the articles, like success stories, and I would read it out louder. I will read that success stories louder, so that I get like the flow in terms of communication. I didn't know that Toastmasters existed. That time I thought it was a baking club. So after I joined Toastmasters, then I improved. But before that, I will take that and read. The reason I'm saying that is, you need to practice that particular thing more, because there is a sentence. Why do you think diamonds are expensive? That's one line. But what you are doing is, why do you think? Then there is a pause. Diamonds are expensive. Your pause need to come either in the front or at the finish of the sentence. The next one, the citizens of USA today spends on diamonds. That's one line. But what is happening is, like you say, citizens of USA today, and then there's a little bit of pause, and then spends on time. And this is some, and then the brainwash. Successfully brainwashing. So there are some few lines. So you need to get that flow. What you do is like take up that and then you start telling it. Give a pause either first or the last. So that is one thing that you can work upon. But other than that, I really like your theme, and a lot of people talked about the theme, and it was a fun meeting. So back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja, for that detailed evaluation. The world is filled with people, and so the mind games are constantly in play. These mind games only work on us only if we let them. Let's stay true to ourselves, obviate the unnecessary, and rise above the noise. On that note, I would like to hand over the charge to the President Toastmastership.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva. I have received 7 responses on the ballot. We have 15 members in the room, so please do cast your vote in the ballot. And as I just mentioned, 15 members in the room, but the sound of the applause hasn't died down. The standard of the speeches hasn't died down. In fact, it's only going up as far as I can notice. Standard of the role takers is only going up. And it just shows you that dedication and coming back week after week has such a huge impact on you as a Toastmaster, right? 13 responses, a couple more of you have to vote. Okay, so yes, we can start off with the winners of today's meeting. First one, best role taker, TAPG. When she was giving her report, I could see her mentor sitting there and smiling. She's made a rocking comeback to our club this evening. The best role taker TAPG is our Grammarian Toastmaster Sakshi. Best role taker MTG. Yes, we have several Toastmasters in this club who many a times for quite a long time now have been carrying the meetings on their shoulders, right? Whether it is conducting the meeting or evaluating the meeting or facilitating the table topics. And today, the person who's evaluated this meeting brilliantly well is our best role taker MTG, our general evaluator Toastmaster Raja. Best table topic speaker for today. Yes. So this man has done it several times in the past. He's done it today as well, and I'm sure we want him to continue doing it in the future as well. The best table topic speaker for today, distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara. Best evaluator for today's meeting. Couple of experienced evaluators in today's meeting, but the person who's evaluated the question and answer session, I feel it's not just for the speaker himself, but everybody who's going to conduct one in the future had so much to take away from that detailed evaluation that he gave. So our best evaluator for today, distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat. And our best speaker for today. So as our MC just mentioned while introducing him, she said he's newly found an articleship, a new job at a new workplace, and he's got busy as well. And amidst that schedule, he's practiced, prepared, and delivered such a flawless speech with such good information. And I was truly in awe today listening to his speech. Our best speaker for today, Toastmaster Saketh. Congratulations to all our winners. Please continue networking downstairs once we're done here. And close meeting number 1295.